CBS News contributor Bob Schieffer is with us now from Washington. He is our former chief Washington correspondent and host of Face the Nation. Bob, good morning.
Good morning, Charlie.
So look ahead to this Sunday debate and tell us how you see it.
Well, my record of predicting what's going to happen in these debates is not really good. Before the vice presidential debate, I said the safest bet was to bet that it would be more substantive than the than the one when Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump met, and we know what happened at that. I mean, it was this debatus interruptus.
But I'm talking about Bob.
Look at anybody.
Look at the dynamics, because it's a different kind of setting here.
Format.
Yes, it is, and I'm not sure who that favors. Climbing up and down off those high stools that they're going to be sitting on presents certain challenges, I suppose. I've never liked this format, to be quite honest about it. I think it leads to theatrics. Remember Al Gore getting up in George Bush's face yes. And kind of, it just goes off in all directions. So heaven knows what's going to happen this time around.
You know, we were talking about this, Bob, that Senate debate that Hillary Clinton had. And remember, Rick Lazio was walking towards her, and many people thought that just that him walking towards her was aggressive in some regard, that the gender may play a role here.
Well, it could. I mean, this business of kind of getting in other people's faces and other people's spaces, it just... I don't see how that helps to have a serious discussion. The last two that I moderated in 2012 and 2008, they sat down at the table. That's the first time they'd ever done that. And I think that is the best way to do it. But you had the two vice presidential candidates sitting at a table, and it didn't seem to change much. They just kept, kind of hollering over one another.
Donald Trump seemed not to be willing to prepare.
That's what I was going to say, yeah.
Well, I mean, what is that all about? I mean, what is that all about? It's like in college, and I'm so smart, I don't have to cram for the exam or study for it. And
but he's brought in Chris Christie now to help with the preparations. What's your prediction on how that's going, or what that will look like on Sunday?
You know, Gail, I have no idea what Donald Trump and Chris Christie talk about when they're alone. Who talks the most? I would guess is probably Donald Trump, but I have no evidence of that.
Yeah.
Donald Trump certainly has the high stakes, does he? Does he not?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, and you mentioned this, Charlie. I think the main impact, I mean, it's pretty hard to get people to focus on politics when the roof is just blown off their house. So, but they're both playing on the same golf course, so that it kind of shuts down both campaigns for a little bit. But I think the one thing that might be affected by all of this is the voter registration. You know, Trump's people had registered, I think, only 60,000 people so far, the voter registration forms that they brought in. Hillary Clinton's people so far have brought in 488,000 voter registration forms. So you can see why a Republican governor might say, well, we've had plenty of time. We're not going to extend that deadline. They have extended it in South Carolina, but apparently Rick Scott's not going to do that.
Well, in fact, Bob, Florida, 2.72 million Florida voters have requested vote-by-mail ballots. It was 1.86 million in 2012. That's a 47% increase. Robbie Mook, Hillary's campaign manager, had a conference call yesterday where they tick-tocked all the data points and essentially said there's massive voter registration going on in all of these battleground states. They think there's going to be higher turnout than 2012, 2008. Who does that benefit?
Well, the bigger the turnout, I think probably the better it is for Hillary Clinton. There are, literally more Democrats than there are Republicans. But again, this is such an unusual election and such an unusual campaign that we're seeing. You have to be even wary about that. I mean, all the old mileposts and signs that we've seen in the past, sometimes it turns out to be just the opposite. But I think the bigger the turnout, I think probably the better it is for Hillary Clinton.
And it raises questions about enthusiasm for the respective candidates.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thanks, Bob.
Looking forward to
You bet.
Sunday. Thanks,
Bob and Nora will be among John Dickerson's guests Sunday on a special Face the Nation. It will broadcast from the debate site at Washington University in St. Louis. John will also interview RNC Chairman Reince Priebus. CBS News will begin live coverage of the debate on Sunday starting at 9 Eastern right here on CBS.